Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play the Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. I'm Chris, aka Dark Prince, and this is my favorite version of the Prince of Persia, and I believe there's 5 of them. But, don't want to spend any more time in the menu screen, so let's get started. And there we are in the background.
Most people think time is like a river that flows swift and sure in one direction. But I have seen the face of time, and I can tell you, they are wrong. Time is an ocean in a storm. You may wonder who I am and why I say this. Sit down, and I will tell you a tale like none that you have ever heard. Know first that I am the son of Sharam, a mighty king of Persia. On our way to Azad with a small company of men, we passed through India, where the promise of honor and glory tempted my father into a grievous error.
Now, my son.
Your Majesty, I trust you will remember your promise. The Maharaja's treasure birds lie with you.
See like a warrior son.
Do you think I felt regret as I gazed upon the destruction we had wrought? Or at least humility at the speed with which a world can be transformed from a good world into a hell? If you think so, you're mistaken. For in that moment I thought of one thing only. The honor and glory I would bring my father by fighting like a warrior in the first battle.
And boom. And they're all vaporized for some reason. Yeah. Old game graphics, engine limitations, whatever. But, yeah. Gotta be careful with the, camera in this game. It's not tank controls. The, movement directions is relative to the camera. So... And the camera's a bit finicky at times, so gotta be careful. I'm gonna talk a little bit about this game, and then I'm going to talk about. Oh, that's one of my guys. Well, spear through his gut. What you gonna do? And then I'm going to talk about the other incarnations of Prince of Persia that I know of. Most of which I have. First up, this game is part platformer, part puzzle game, part acrobatic combat in the best way. This is... Oh no, please, please do not send me over the wall. Okay, knifed in the face. This is also the only point in the game you'll be fighting humans. You'll see what I mean when we get there.
Many men that day sought to win honor and glory on the battlefield, that their king might say to them, as Khosrow said to Rustam, "You are the noblest of my warriors." From the moment my sword tasted blood, I knew this would not be my way. I would win my father's praise, not by killing, but by being the first to find the Maharaja's treasure vault and the wonders within.
Okay. Heading down. Adjusting camera. Yeah. One spear dude taken care of. Oh. Chumps. Anyway. So, this is the first game in the Sands of Time trilogy, which is... as I've already said, this is the best version of Prince of Persia, in my opinion, even though it's the... I think it's the first reboot? If I recall, there's including this, there's 3 reboots, not including the movie, which is one of the 5. Slow-mo wall running. Because it's awesome. And no more slow-mo wall running because it's also awesome. I thought there was a guy over there. But, you'll notice I've gone through, I think, 3 pools of water now. That's if you get hurt. You drink water, you get healed. Because water is life in the desert. Speaking of which, I just recently got done playing Lost Planet. Whoa! No! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, I thought he was gonna, like, do a plunging attack type deal. Yeah, yeah. Oh! Still no damage. I'm actually impressed with myself a bit. That I haven't been hit once so far. I totally just jinxed myself though, didn't I? Anyway, I just recently got done with Lost Planet, and I've watched Frozen twice in the last couple of days. The irony of the 2 extremes of me now being in a desert, or playing a game in the desert, is not lost on me. But, whatever, winter's finally getting over in real life, so maybe this game will channel some heat into the world. Global warming is caused by desert video games. Whatever, I don't believe in global warming. Oh, there's that first hit. See, I knew it. I knew I'd jinx myself. Whatever. Global warming is a myth anyway. But, yeah. I think that's all I'm going to talk about this game until we get a bit further in. Let's see.
Shall I continue my story from here the next time we're interrupted? Done. I'll start the story from here next time.
Slow motion jump while running. What was I talking about? Yeah, I'm not going to talk about this game anymore for a bit. But before we walk through there and get more dialogue, next up I'm going to be talking about the original Prince of Persia games. There were 2 of them, I believe, before this game.
And there it lay, just out of reach. The dagger of time. There was a treasure I could carry with pride as a trophy of our victory. If I could only get there.
Okay, so the first Prince of Persia game, it takes after the Aladdin Disney movie, if you've seen that. I hope you have. If you haven't, you need to watch it. After watching my videos, of course. Camera. Whatever. It's just... Yeah, there we go. So, oh, and here's our trap tutorial, by the way. It takes after... Seriously? I'm trying to go down, not stop. The first Prince of Persia game takes place after Aladdin, in that the prince isn't actually a prince. He's a commoner who's the princess's boyfriend, who gets thrown in a dungeon. You got the evil vizier who orders him thrown in the dungeon, and then locks the princess in the tallest tower in the palace and gives her an ultimatum. She has 1 hour to choose: die or marry him. And when I say she has 1 hour, I mean a literal real-time 1 hour to complete this game, or you lose. And you escape the dungeon, you get a sword, you fight guards. It's like what you would get if you had insanely oversimplified Nidhogg combat. It consists of step forward, step back, I forget if it's block or parry, and attack. Might be both, but whatever. It was on the Game Boy Color, the version of it I played. I don't know if there was anything before, if there was a version of Prince of Persia before it, but Game Boy Color, if you don't know what that is, had a whopping... It had a directional pad and a whopping 2 buttons. So, not too terribly much you could do with a combat system consisting of directional pad and 2 buttons. Anyway, that was a side-scrolling, platforming, trap-avoiding smorgasbord with little gimmicky combat thrown in there. And all you do is you escape the dungeon. Well, here's drinking. You escape the dungeon, you climb the palace, you fight guards, you climb the tower, you fight more guards, and then you fight the vizier. Well, that was a weird camera jump. I'm not really sure what, whether you had to beat the vizier, because you actually sword fight the vizier. I'm not sure if you had to beat... didn't do it. There we go. Not sure if you had to beat him before the hour ran out, or you just had to get to that fight before the hour ran out. Either way, it culminates in you kill the vizier, you marry the princess, and become the Prince of Persia.
had what I came for. It was time to get out. Now.
You'll notice I now have 3 golden orbs and 1 empty orb. Those are your sand tanks. For each one of those, you get to control, or you get 1 rewind per orb. Spike trap. It's the first instant death trap, other than just a long fall, in the game. Oh no! Oh, whatever. I'm just hurt. Oh no! Jeez, still choking on my drink. Turn the camera. Ah! There we go. Now I can see. But, yeah, that was basically the Prince of Persia 1 in a nutshell. It's continued by Prince of Persia 2, which we'll talk about after this cutscene. It's going to be a long one.
Father, I have brought us honor and glory.
Your Majesty, you promised me my choice of the Maharaja's treasures. That dagger.
Surely you won't deny the lad a souvenir of his first battle. You may have your choice of all the Maharaja's other treasures. Except that hourglass. That will make a blind gift for the Sultan of Azad when we pass through his city. And some exotic animals for his menagerie. And a few dozen slave girls. Yes, that should be. I want no animals or maidens harmed until I have chosen. Let it be known, King Sharaman is merciful in victory.
Trust not a man who has betrayed his master, nor take him into your own service, lest he betray you too. I learned the truth of this to my sorrow, the day that we arrived in Azad as the Sultan's honored guests.
My friend.
My friend, your visit brings joy and honor to my poor and humble dwelling. If only you'd given me time to prepare a proper welcome.
The glories of Azad are famed throughout the world. And yet, the best is yet to come. I give you the sands of time. May the friendship between our kingdoms endure as long as time itself.
The sand, why does it glow? I can tell you. Inside the hourglass is a marvel that no living man has seen. Alas, only the dagger can unlock the sands of time, and it belongs to a greater one than I. A young prince, dearer to his father than all the wealth of India. Perhaps he will oblige.
No. No! Stop!
Is it meant to do this?
Alicia Sigataha!
Give me the dagger.
No.
You have unleashed the sands of time. I can undo what you have done. Give it to me.
Why does the Vizier think he's gonna listen to him after he just tricked him into doing it in the first place? Yeah, and this is basically what
Prince, use the dagger. Strike with the dagger. Hit his sand.
this.
Each time I struck them down, they rose to fight again. I soon realized that only by taking into my own dagger the sands that possess them could I liberate them from their monstrous living death.
So yeah, now we're fighting zombie sand people. Who can teleport or something. Ah, wasn't quick enough on that one. Jeez, combat looks cool. Or at least the prince's movements look cool. Not again. Ah. Whatever, I don't mind these enemies so much. They're chumps. Alright, time for another cutscene. You have unleashed the sands of time.
Done. I'll start the story from here next time. You think me mad. I can see it by the look in your eyes. You think my story is impossible. Perhaps I am mad. Who would not be driven mad by horrors such as I have lived? But I assure you, every word is true.
Okay, now that dialogue's over, because it will interrupt or skip other dialogue if there's main story dialogue going. Now we can keep going.
Wait! Stop! I won't hurt you!
Okay, by the way, does anyone else feel like chanting, "You fucked up, you fucked up, you fucked up," right now? Because that pretty much sums up the situation and my feelings on the matter for now. Ow.
The guest rooms, where my father, all our entourage, and I should have passed the night lay cold and silent. The sands of time had swept through, stealing life and warmth from everything they touched. And I, who unleashed the cataclysm, had been spared. Were there others like me, who yet clung to life, hiding in fear among the ruins? It did not seem so.
Now, the sand cloud, you probably noticed, makes a sound. I'll be quiet, Prince. I'm talking here. It makes a shimmering sound, the closer the camera gets to it. And so you can find them. You get 8 of them, makes a new sand tank. You get an extra rewind. You absorb the sand from 16 sand beasts, and you get a power tank, and the dagger gets a new ability. For a while, eventually it stops getting new abilities. I think it just upgrades old abilities after a while. Running. Oh man, platforming in this game so cool. But yeah, Prince of Persia 2.
Had I really seen her? Or had my senses given way under the burden of horrors too great to bear and conjured up a phantom? Either way, I could not rest until I had found her again.
All this dialogue is making it commentary difficult. I really don't want to talk over the commentary because I'm doing the whole trilogy, and to understand the story of the third game, you must know the story of this game. It's not necessary for the second one that you watch this one, though it does help a lot. Well, okay, not a lot. It gives more context to some stuff, but it's not necessary for the second game. The third game, you must have played this for the story to really make sense. Hwah! Hwah! Anyway, Prince of Persia 2. Prince and Princess got married and lived happily ever after. Not, we're about to go into combat. Oh, jeez. Big, bulky dudes have a much tougher guard than these guys. But the old shoulder flip thing. Ah, yeah, made it. There we go. Power tank.
I soon discovered that when I had collected enough sand, the dagger gained the power to stop time. Not for me, but for the enemy I struck.
Yeah, so now I can slow time. Ah, there we go. Whoop. Whoop. Aw, I can't believe I messed that up. But, instead of living happily ever after, the prince is, I think it's shortly after the wedding, the prince is, has a spell cast on him that makes everyone think he's a stranger. Or it makes him look like someone else to everyone. And his arm is glitching through the wall. Jeez. Oh man, dated graphics. Oh, and these sand pillars are our save points. So, is there any? No, there's nothing over there. go ahead and do this. Had I really seen her? Okay, well, I'm going to cut the episode off here, and when we return, we're going to find out who that mysterious girl is that we've seen over and over and over so far, but have no context for. Or context, what am I saying? Of course we have context. She's a slave girl. We caught her at the Maharaja's, when we conquered the Maharaja's city, but that's beside the point. Anyway, we'll find out who she is, and I will finish up talking about Prince of Persia 2. But until then, I bid you farewell.